Once you expose it, it's dead. It may take a while to remove the face sucker. It may take a while to remove the parasite. But once you're aware that Hollywood's a parasite, and once you're aware that George Soros is a parasite, and once you're aware that royalty is a parasite, and once you're aware of all these unelected, corrupt systems that we pay for and that we live under, it's over. It's worse than garbage. It's worse than something you take out to the curb. What's behind the entire Weinstein firestorm? Well, what's behind it is Hollywood's collapsing. The money's not there anymore. And the rats are leaving the sinking ship. The Matt Damons and others, the Ben Afflecks, are being forced to reverse their cover-ups for Mr. Weinstein. And as the invincibility aura dissipates, the pedophilia is going to come out next. And that's what they feel nipping at their heels, breathing down their necks, is the fact that the American people and patriots in law enforcement and the populist Trump revolution and this broadcast is all just part of a worldwide move against the satanic pedophile elites. Hungary's government has come out and declared George Soros a, quote, agent of Satan. And their Secretary of State, their Prime Minister, they've all come out and said it's their Christian duty to fight against Satan/Soros plan. And they are sending nationwide to all the homes documents and quotes by Soros admitting the plan to destroy Europe and turn it over to Islam. Now, what have I said 1,000 times, and I'll say it again? If you have a private, corporate, above-the-law, tax-free world government that also backs authoritarianism, once you expose it, it's dead. It may take a while to remove the face sucker. It may take a while to remove the parasite. But once you're aware that Hollywood's a parasite, and once you're aware that George Soros is a parasite, and once you're aware that royalty is a parasite, and once you're aware of all these unelected, corrupt systems that we pay for and that we live under, it's over. It's worse than garbage. It's worse than something you take out to the curb. It's something you throw into the deepest pit of the ocean. So I can tell you historically and culturally, the tide isn't just going out on globalism. Globalism is a dead letter. Globalism is the plague. Globalism is a failure. And as bad as the death throes are of the Hollywood Combine and the NFL and the late night talk shows and so-called comedians reading off teleprompters, it's just that. Frothing, agonizing, melting away death throes. And that's it. And you've got to ask yourselves, what are they going to do to try to stop us? Well, they're going to try to start wars. They're going to try to start culture wars. They're going to try everything they can. But the giant Ponzi scheme that's mainstream media and the giant Ponzi scheme that's the Fortune 100 corporations that all dreamed of how they were building this great world government where they'd be gods in the Elysium fields and all us mere mortals would be down here not even aware of their global government. Well, guess what? You miscalculated. You thought enough people would just go along with the New York Times and the ADL and Southern Poverty Law Center and the Washington Post beating people over the head, calling them all these names if they didn't submit. You thought you could bully us, but all you did with your henpecking over and over, trying to keep us in line, you thought you had us intimidated and scared. Really, we were in a deep sleep. It's like trying to keep us in line. You thought you were so powerful. You thought you dominated us. And finally went, what is that? Pecking on my head. Ugh. Some gremlin creature? How about I just break your neck? How's that feel? Now its eyes are bugged out. Its arms and legs are scrabbling an arm. We got a few scratches. How about we just throw you into a pit of hell? Bye-bye. Take all of it with you. Your red carpets, all your glitter bug, narcissism garbage, and go fall off a cliff. And break your neck down there politically, culturally, spiritually, like every other failed system in history. It is, ladies and gentlemen, a true time that tries humanity's souls. On this Wednesday, October 11th, 2017, worldwide broadcast. And I'm your host. We're going to be live here for the next 3.5 hours now that we have left in the broadcast. And let's just do something different today. I've got enough news and enough powerful clips to, wow, fill a whole day. And we'll get to a lot of it, but I really do want to early on take your calls, first-time callers, on the fall of Hollywood, the fall of the NFL, the fall of the Democratic Party, the beginning of the fall of the Republican establishment, and the fall of the EU, and the fall of the Islamic takeover, Arab Spring, and just the misfire, the backfire that is globalism becoming uncloaked, and the really accelerated beginning of their cultural destruction. This has been the reign of the pedophile devil worshippers. And it doesn't mean it's going to end quickly. But while humanity slept, they weave their webs. But the sun always comes back. And we're not just in the early morning hours now. The sun is starting to rise high into the sky, and the night creatures are beginning to feel the heat. And when the sun rises to the high point, it will be the complete end of the age for the globalist. And that's where we are. And they know it. And they think AI is going to save them. And they think telling you they're invincible is going to save them, because they all know they're losers. They all know they're fakes. They all know they're frauds. They all know they're jokes. They all know no one really wants to be around them, and they've never had real love, and they'll never get real love. And so they want to destroy all that's good. When you hear these Harry Weinstein tapes, and you hear all this other garbage, and you hear the Brothers Defense and Harvey Weinstein, you realize that he's not wanting to have sex with these beautiful women or put them on a pedestal and make them have a good time. He is enjoying, as I predicted days ago last week, before the tapes came out, because I just want to show folks what I'm talking about. We ought to find that when I said, you see, it isn't the sex he wants, it's the power. And I mean, if you're going to make a gorgeous, smart woman sit there and watch you when you look like a diseased hippopotamus rub on yourself in a shower and watch you play with yourself, I mean, that shows you how low these demons are.
What the aging process is when the cell replicates, we lose a little bit of our telomeres. Telomeres are the little cups on the end of our chromosomes.
And when it runs out, you start dying. Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com.